This is Bubba from the police. And right now the police are getting ready to go after someone that's up on a roof. I understand they caught 2 of 3. Everyone spotted them on the roof. As you can see, there's no crime scene tape.
Hey, Bob.
Yeah.
Go back down to Fremont. Go back down to Fremont.
Why?
Let's go. Go back down.
Well, if you're gonna make this if you're gonna sit there and say that people can't go back and forth, you need to put crime scene tape up. Otherwise, people walk up here. And due to I'm the one with the camera, am I the only one going to be denied access up here? I'll just go up to 91st. Oh.
You can't be up here, man. I need you to go back that way.
Why can't I be up here?
Get out of the road.
Get out of the road. There's no sidewalk.
There is over there.
So you deny me access to the road? What for?
We're in the middle of a perimeter, man. Go away. It's not safe for you to be out here.
Well, it wasn't safe for the people to be in the Twin Towers either.
Have a good night.
Hey, what about my rights to film? What about the person's rights not to be abused by the police?
You can film from the sidewalk. Get
I
off
can't,
the road.
I can't film.
You're interfering.
Okay, I'm out of the road now.
Property, go away. Can you please stay inside your house for a moment? Can you please stay inside your house? We've got somebody hiding on a rooftop behind you. Please stay inside and lock your doors. Thank you.
Huh. So there's Air One flying around. So they told me to get out of the street, and then they told me to walk back to Fremont. And if you happen to look, there's the street. There's private property. Now they said stay off private property too. So I can't walk back to Fremont on private property, and I can't do it in the road. So how the blank am I supposed to walk back to Fremont? I don't care if it's... Robbery, right?
You can come on our property too if you'd like.
Huh?
You're welcome to our property. as
Oh,
well.
thank you.
Did you
Huh?
capture that shot? Like,
No. Now they're gonna block our view. Turn on the light so it flares the camera and block our view. They have no problem with this guy going through. Nor do they have a problem with this person going through. But if you got a camera and you're a cop watcher, they got a major issue with that. Did you hear the argument between me and that cop?
oh yeah, were you the one they were saying you need to be on a sidewalk or something?
Yeah, I need to be on the sidewalk. I need to be off people's personal property.
Well, there is no sidewalk. That's the catch of it, is that this is property and there's no sidewalk there, so you can't even. But like, whatever happened, like, I'm so mad I missed it. I tried to grab my phone, but I missed the whatever. I don't know. They were screaming and like.
Yeah, he probably tased them. Had the dog bite him and tase him.
Everything okay?
Yeah, it's fine. There was just something very brutal.
You got hear a lot of shrieking.
Yeah, and I didn't get it on camera. I'm kind of mad about it. I mean, now.
Sick dogs on somebody?
Yeah.
For what?
I don't know. North was looking for 3 people. They caught 2 of them, and one dude did the spider on a roof next block down. And I guess he came off the roof and ran. But, you know, you had officers up here. There's no reason for them to sick the dog on the person.
Yeah, there was like 20, like, I saw like 3 cars with people.
Yeah.
I heard him like shrieking in pain. That was.
That's because they sicked the dogs on them. They sicked the dogs on them and probably tased them.
What was he doing? What happened though?
Just ran from police. Portland has a real dismal record on human rights.
Did you guys see them sick the dogs on him?
Yeah, I did. I did, but I ran to get my camera. Yeah, well, they told me to go back inside because like, they were saying like, oh, someone's on your roof in particular, like, and I didn't really believe it.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were telling me that because they didn't want a witness.
Yeah, they're not gonna want. They don't want witnesses.
I don't think anyone was on our roof.
No.
You saw that?
Yeah.
No, I go through this all the time with them.
Yeah.
I'm a cop watch. I go around and film the police.
Do you live near here?
I live in Northeast Portland, over by Killingsworth and Martin Luther King.
So how did you come here?
I heard it on the scanner.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I think it's bullshit that they said you couldn't be on private property. Like, I should have told you sooner that you're, like, welcome on our property to do this.
I've had them actually walk up to people's houses and knock on a door and tell me that I'm trespassing the property, and smile as they walk by.
Mm-hmm.
David, you saw that whole thing go down?
Yeah.
Dude,
It was violent.
I heard that. That was violent as fuck. The guy was screeching. I like woke up
Mm-hmm.
from sleep. Oh, I heard the interaction too. He was just like, they were saying something about a sidewalk, and then instantly the.
No, that was a different thing. That was them.
That was me.
They were saying.
I mean, they were definitely fleeing. It's interesting. The person was trying to escape the cops, but it's just like, what degree of violence?
Yeah.
And also, how did that person even come to that? Like, why did they go over to that car?
I don't know. All I know is the dude would have had to go over that fence, which wouldn't be too hard, and they could have put a car right up onto the property up there, and waited for the guy to get up there. By the time you got up there, you'd be exhausted.
So this is just like a hobby? Like, you just like...
I'm an activist that films the police.
Oh, that's super
Because
cool.
I got tired of hearing about civil rights violations and stuff like that.
You could lock the door when you come back inside.
I put everything on YouTube.
Damn, so we both missed it?
We both missed it.
I'm so mad about this.
Well, I didn't know I could come up here, otherwise I would have been up here. But I was way down there. I wound up, I'm not going to be able to see nothing, so I walked down by the pole. And then I heard I was down by the pole when all that happened. The telephone pole, I was like, oh man.
I got something.
Yeah.
It wasn't the... It was the aftermath, though.
Mm-hmm. No, I bet they're not even going to call medical for the guy, even though they're supposed to. But with me here, they might call medical.
Damn, yeah, that was crazy. No, I was just like hanging out in my like living room, and I saw the cops pull up, and yeah, but fuck, I'm so mad I missed that because that was violent.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Heard someone found out how fun dogs are.
Yeah. I don't think it was necessary to sick them on them.
Eh.
Yeah, we're spectating. Yeah, but that's the thing about it is like it's very deceptive how they told me, because I was originally just watching from like here, and then they told me they're on your roof, get inside now. I don't think they were on our roof.
They
I think
weren't.
they tried to lie to me so I wouldn't like be a witness to anything. And I felt so stupid because I didn't have my phone on me and couldn't get a video of that, but that was brutal.
That's why I stepped on private property down there, because they can't push off private property. Only the owner of the private property can kick you off.
Okay, so you can't be on private property, but if someone who like owns it lets you on, you're allowed.
Have a good night, Bob.
Hey, you too. What the law says that if like for instance, if I step on your property, then an officer can't come up and say you're trespassing and arrest me. He has to get the owner of the house or renters or whatever to say, hey, you're trespassing, you have to leave. And then if I don't leave, then I'm
Tried to send my friend a Snapchat and it didn't even send.
oh no.
Did you miss the drama though?
Nah, I heard it all.
And how do you feel about it?
I used to work in law enforcement, so I understand how it happens.
Mm.
Usually it's deserved. Sometimes other things can happen, but
Yeah.
from what I heard for the last half hour, it was deserved.
But also, it's very manipulative for a cop to tell someone like, "Oh, they told me to go inside. They are on my roof right now, and I'm in danger." That's manipulation and lies and bullshit, and very honestly, just very sad that you would, because they don't want a witness to see what they're doing, and why do they not want a witness? Because maybe something they're doing is unethical.
Well, that's not the way I worked. I would have never told somebody to go inside for something like that, but it's more of a liability issue for the city or
For
whatever
themselves,
department.
for their own actions that might be unjustified or something.
Well, no, I mean, if they're doing something unjustified, there's no excuse for that. But it's more if something happens to you guys, like even if you're on your own property, you could lose a lot of money or a lot of bad looks for the city. So I wouldn't lie to somebody to tell them to go inside, but I would be like, hey, it's unsafe, please go inside.
Yeah, I was right.
If they don't, there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, I was standing right down here. I was coming up the road, and the officer goes, "Get on the sidewalk," and there is no sidewalk. So I stepped on the property, and he goes, "Get off the private property." I just looked at him like, "Huh?"
Yeah, you're parked right by my next door neighbor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, how have you been, Bob? I haven't seen you. I haven't worked law enforcement in a few years, but I haven't seen you since I was working.
Been doing good.
You doing okay?
You
Yeah.
know their name?
I've seen you filming before.
Yeah.
It was such a small world. And Portland's just
Yeah.
Well, I worked in Multnomah County, so
yeah.
I mean, you live in Southeast, right?
No, Northeast.
Northeast. Okay.
You know where the Northeast precinct is?
Yeah.
I live half a block from there.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, I think this shit's resolved. I'm just mad that I only got the tail end of the.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard them tell him to get into the house, because the person's on his roof.
Did you get anything? Cool.
No, I didn't get anything good. I didn't get the screaming and pain. It sounded like they were dying. But is that like a normal taser reaction or something?
Pretty much, yeah. So like me carrying a taser, we all have to get tased is just a part of the learning.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's not fun.
No. If this cop wishes to confront me for some reason, don't intervene.
Yeah, I'm staying out of it. I was just seeing what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
guys. How's it going?
All right.
All right. Well, I think I'm gonna go back to bed.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, because what they'll do is they'll make a bunch of threats to you. You know. Also, you're letting them on the property even after we told them you can't be here.
Who?
Oh, when I was here, the cops told me that I had to go all the way down to Fremont. Then they said I couldn't be in the street and I couldn't be on private property.
Well, it's definitely hard. Oh, is that the ambulance?
Yeah.
Let me get that one. Are you getting this?
Yeah, I got the ambulance coming up.
This is pretty fun. I think.
No,
this is
they know me. I'd be down at City Hall filing a complaint if they didn't send an ambulance up there after a dog bite.
No, that's regular protocol. They have to.
Yeah.
Have a good night, guys.
All right, you too. So you're no longer in law enforcement?
No, it's just not worth the danger these days, and I got a job that pays a lot more money. So.
Oh, okay.
So all in all, I get weekends off. I don't work holidays, and I don't have to worry about dying.
That's cool.
Have a good night, guys.
All right. Yeah, it would have been at City Hall filing a complaint if they didn't call an ambulance up here.
So they have to.
They have to, yeah. I mean, I've heard from people that said they didn't call an ambulance, they just took them to jail. But with me here, I know a lot of their procedures and their rules and stuff.
Or like based on viewers.
Huh?
Like now that they know we're spectating, they do more than
Yeah.
they would.
You can act like a clown off camera, but when you're on camera, and more than likely these officers up here don't know where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could be on that college campus laying down 20 feet away from them and they wouldn't know it. But they know I'm here.
Oh, that's cool. So you do this a lot.
Yeah. I go out just about every night and film the cops.
Even this late?
Yeah, I heard a lot of horror stories at night. Because, you know, cops know they can get away with stuff at night because people are sleeping and people are, you know, it's dark and people can't see anything.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And it's a hard gray area because, like, beyond, like, me having this place, like, how would you go closer to them? You couldn't.
Yeah, I
unless
couldn't.
there was a sidewalk or something.
Yeah, well, what I do, if I really wanted to do something when that cop pulled up,
Mm-hmm.
I would have crossed over to the college campus, got up into the tree area, and probably climbed down on my stomach down to, like, where that other tree is.
Yeah, like it right there.
Yeah.
But that's still kind of like trespassing on them.
Well, I'd have to be trespassed from that college.
Yeah. Yeah, that's super freaky.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it's resolved at this point. Not resolved.
No.
I also just am very curious on the story of it all. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen some of those pictures of some of those bites and stuff. They are vicious.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And for the cop to turn his dog on the person like that. You see how much open area that is?
I don't really understand the whole, like... It seems like the person was, like, at that point, like, willing to, like, be... Like, they were, like, surrendering at that point, so I don't understand, like, the violence. Because I don't think they would have gotten, like, towards a road with cops on it, like...
Yeah.
I feel like they were at that point just like ready to accept whatever. So I feel like it was just a very violent.
Well, he's going pretty fast.
So when you like record this stuff,
I upload in several different ways. What I'll do is I'll upload and basically put all my videos. This thing will probably, it shuts off every 15 minutes. So what it is I'll have like 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, and I'll upload those, and then I'll put them all together and upload that on another day. So you got the full thing. You don't have to look at each individual video. And then when I get a chance, then I'll edit it down. You're also supposed to get a supervisor that's not involved and have him come up and question all the officers. They have strict protocols on when they use force, because the Department of Justice is watching them and basically sat there and said, here's what you'll do, because of the James Chassie thing. And I don't care what anyone says, they murdered James Chassie.
I feel like they are being put in the ambulance right now.
Yeah.
At this point, I want to interview them.
Yeah, that would go over well.
Really?
Huh?
Could I? I'm on like my property. Like I feel like I could.
Well, they'll get in their vehicles and drive away.
Yeah, they wouldn't want to be.
No. And then if you had your camera out, they'd give you the same rigmarole as they gave me. Get off the road. You're on the road. Or you're on private property.
No, you're not on the road. You're on our property.
Yeah.
So they can't give us that.
No. But if you went up there.
Yeah, I couldn't go there.
Yeah.
But I could go, like, there. Right? Like, I could go, like, there. Like, to the end of our property.
Oh, yeah.
I almost want to act like... I shouldn't, but I want to tell them.
What do you want to tell them?
Well, I want to ask them, like, what happened.
I'm curious with that open field right there why they felt it was necessary to send a dog after him and tase him.
At this point, I want to move closer. If you're drawing the boundary, I feel this is the boundary.
Yeah.
They sound like a bunch of cowards.
Mm-hmm.
I feel they're gonna debrief us because they know we're watching. And I'm so ready for it. Like, I hope they do.
Mm-hmm.
I might flag them up. Yeah, this shit happens all the time too on our street. We see cops every day. So you're always welcome to be on our property and record whatever you want.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, I feel like they're just gonna like try to drive away. They would never talk to someone, right? Like,
No, not on something like this.
well, it's a pretty cool hobby.
Mm-hmm. Well, they call me a First Amendment activist, and I call myself an activist that films the police. And the Supreme Court has ruled that people have a right to film the police.
Wait, so what happened? You listened to their radio, and then you just came?
Yep. Came from way over deep southeast, like 149th.
I thought you were living in northeast.
I do. But I was in southeast doing my patrols over there. See, I don't sit at the house and wait to hear the calls. I actually drive out there. I drive a Prius. So I get really good gas mileage. I'll go fill it up and go out and patrol Stark all the way to Clackamas Town Center, Felony Flats, Rockwood and Gresham. That's the areas I usually patrol.
I hope one of them is dumb enough to like talk to us.
No. If they do anything, what they'll do is come over and harass me. Which is really, really dumb because right now the cop watchers are pretty pissed off at the cops. We don't think the 122nd shooting was justified. And Keith Davis just got convicted of trespass and what is that, criminal mischief for because when he was at City Hall they got upset about him filming and shoved him in the back. And he got all loud and obnoxious, and so they closed the chambers and told everyone to leave, and he didn't leave right away, so they charged him with trespass and they wrestled him out. And then after they wrestled him out, they arrested he got his hand cut because they dug their claws into his hands, and he wiped the blood on the wall, so they charged him with criminal mischief and he got convicted of that.
What's your YouTube called? Do you have a YouTube
Yeah,
channel?
Robert West.